Hello friends, Namaskar and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm RVD and this is going to be the next lecture of my playlist Placement Interview Questions on C Programming. So far we have come a really long way in fundamentals of C Programming and you all have really appreciated my efforts. I request you to please continue your support and keep watching all the videos on my channel. I know all of you have already subscribed it, but if any one of you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. You can see the subscribe button right down there, and please spread it across to all your friends and acquaintances. Okay, it's going to be a playlist of C programming where C programming is really getting simplified. Fine, so let's move ahead in the current video. So the question for this video is going to be, what is the use of function getChar and putChar in C? In the previous video, we have seen the outline of input-output in C, and we said as a part of unformatted input and output, we have functions which exclusively deal with character data only, and they are nothing but getChar and putChar. Okay, so let's see individually, okay, along with the syntax and example. So, starting with function getChar, as the name suggests, getChar. So, it will be used to accept a character from the user. Okay, is it for all the formats it works? No, it works only for character, and hence it will be considered to be an unformatted input. So, it's a function for unformatted input. Okay, let us try to understand the syntax. Now, what will be the syntax? See, the name of the function is getChar. Okay, maybe first time you are looking at the syntax of a function. Okay, so you always first deal with the name of the function. Then after the name of the function, you have argument list or set of arguments. That is what the function is supposed to accept. Now see, getChar is not supposed to accept anything from the programmer. Programmer is not going to give anything to getChar. Rather, getChar is accepting a character from the user and that will be returned. Okay, so if you see the syntax, after the function name you have argument list for which for getChar is going to be empty. But before the function name you always have a return type. For getChar is going to be a character. So this is how the function's syntax can be visualized. getChar, that is the name of the function. Okay, just try to understand this step by step. So see, this getChar is the name of the function. Okay, this actually talks about argument list. It could be one or more arguments that can be there inside this. And what is that? That is what your function expects from the programmer, from the program rather. Okay, which should be given while calling. So now getChar is not expecting anything from us because getChar is not supposed to accept. It is for giving the input which is collected from the user. So as I said, after the function name we have argument list. Before the function name, whatever you represent here, that is actually the return type. Okay, when we will deal with function chapter, you will be learning about how to create your own functions, and the same rather things will be repeated over there. But we are looking at an inbuilt function because function syntax will always be same. Name of the function, argument list and return type. Here you can see return type is char. That means the type of result or a data which is to be returned by function getChar is character type, and which is very correct because that's what we expect the getChar function to read from the user. Now let us take an example. It's a very simple example. How can I read using getChar? So I'll be creating a character variable. Let us name anything, char ch. Okay, so I would say ch equal to getChar. Bracket, nothing, and a semicolon. That's it. This is how you will be reading a character from the user. So getChar is a function call. See, you might be wondering that I have written char before getChar. That is just to indicate here. You can see a getChar is preceded by char, that is indicating its return type. Now the return type of getChar is char. Hence, you can see on the left hand side what I have used is a character variable because getChar is supposed to return a character value. So what will happen? Okay, whenever this would execute, your cursor will blink on the screen. Okay, you're supposed to type something. Let's say capital A is being typed by the user, and user presses enter. Now CH will have its own memory of 1 byte. And why 1 byte? Because character deals with ASCII values and all. We have seen all these things at the beginning. So whenever the user gives capital A and presses enter, it will read that A and it will be stored inside, but in the form of ASCII value. Now the ASCII value of capital A is 65. So what gets stored in the memory is not the character, but its corresponding ASCII value, for a very valid reason, because what gets stored inside the memory is always numbers. So capital A universally is being given a ASCII value that is 65, and 65 will be stored inside, but it is being stored in a character form. So whenever you want to deal with it, okay, if at all you try to retrieve it, it will be retrieved as capital A only. So this is a simple way I can use getChar for accepting a character. Okay, so let's go ahead next with putChar, how exactly I can display a character. Okay, so let's look at that. So function putChar, obviously it will be used for displaying a given character on the screen. Okay, so as your getChar was unformatted input, your putChar is unformatted output, because again it does not work with all formats, it only works with single character format only. Now what about the syntax? By now you might have understood. So name of the function is putChar. What about the argument list? Yes, putChar expect us to give one character which my putChar can display. So putChar is now expecting an argument from us. So how many arguments? 1. What is the type? Char. So you can see within the brackets you'll have a char as the argument specified. Whereas return type is nothing, because it is not supposed to return anything to us. It is supposed to take an argument, that is a character value, and it is supposed to display that on the screen. So the return type nothing is mentioned with the help of void. So you can see how exactly we can write that. Void putChar and in bracket char. Again I repeat the same thing. This is the name of the function. This is the argument list. So as I said, one argument which is char, and return type is void, indicating that it is not supposed to return anything. Clear? So it's supposed to take one argument, that is character, from us and display it on the screen. Okay, let's look at some of the examples of putChar. So let us take the same example first, that I had suppose char ch. Okay, and instead of reading now, suppose I have assigned it to single quotes A, that is 65 is there, stored within the variable ch. That can also be done using getChar, all of us have already seen. Now when I say putChar, it will be like this, putChar in bracket ch. I hope you've observed that I'm not writing something equal to putChar, for a very simple reason, that the return type of putChar is void. So it is not supposed to return anything. So I can directly call it putChar ch. Now I'm saying putChar, put as in print the character which is given in this particular form. So what does it do? It goes to ch. It picks up that 65. But as the order is to put the character, it will convert that to its corresponding character, and it prints capital A on the screen. Now I can do some variations also, like putChar in bracket. If I do ch plus 32. Now see what is there inside? It is an expression. So see, first it will take up what is there in ch, which is 65. It will be added with 32. 65 plus 32 is 97. Now this 97, which is the value of the expression, will be considered as an ASCII value. Now 97 is an ASCII value of small a, so it will print small a. Are you getting it? That's how rather the things can be interpreted. So if I say putChar in bracket, suppose I want to display 5. Now if I say putChar 5, I'm not going to get 5 on the screen. Actually, it's a good question that what I would get it on the screen. It will be such a character whose ASCII value is 5. Now you might be wondering, why putChar 5 within bracket 5? That 5 is not interpreted as a character. If you remember, when we have learned character constants, I told you that characters, if you want to represent, they're always represent within single quote. So if I only represent this as a 5, it will be taken as ASCII value. But when I put it as 5 in single quote, I'll be getting 5 on the screen. What if I want 5 to be printed without putting that code? So instead of 5, I should put ASCII value of 5. Now, ASCII value of 0 is 48. So if you add up, ASCII value of 5 is 53. So even if I do putchar in bracket 53, that is without quotes obviously, it will still print 5. Or else if I want 5 to be printed as a character directly, then 5 should be kept in a single quote. Okay. Now what will be the output for this? Putchar in bracket, or we have single quote mein A. I guess this shouldn't be difficult. It will print obviously A as it is because it is put in single quote. But suppose I have done this. Now what will be the output? See, again, A will be converted to ASCII value, which is 97 plus 3, 100. Now what is 100? It is very simple. 97 is A. So 98, if you add 1 to it, 98, it will be B. If you add 2 to it, 99, it will be C. And if you add 3 to it, which is 100, it is going to be D. So in short, the output for this is going to be small d. I hope you're getting it. So likewise, we can have any sort of expressions. It will be evaluated. Finally, the ASCII value will be taken and that will be printed. Okay, if at all I try to print a non-graphical character, putchar, and if I put in bracket /n, what is /n? New line character. So what does it do? If the cursor is here, it will simply go on the next line. So they are called non-graphical characters. So I cannot print them on the screen, but I'll be able to see their effect on the screen. Like I can even have /t, which will display a tab. Okay, I can even have other characters like backslash could be printed and all these things. Backslash, if I want to print, I have to put double backslash because backslash is a control character. So if I put double backslash, I'll be able to get the backslash on the screen. If I want to print, let's say, a single quote, so I can do it something like this: putchar. Okay, put the backslash and a single quote, then only it will be printed as a single quote. If you want to print double quote, so putchar, again backslash double quote, and that will be printed as a double quote. Because there is a confusion of keeping it in the single quote, you have to make use of backslash to differentiate. If I want to display a backslash, this could be done like this. Sorry, it's a single quote, then backslash for control, then backslash for printing, and then it will be printed as a backslash, single backslash. So in short, the first backslash acts as a delimiter or acts as a control character, which tells that the next backslash is to be used for printing. So likewise, I'll be able to make use of putchar for simply displaying a single character. Okay, it was only needed as a part of theory that there are exclusive functions for dealing with character data type. Okay, getchar and putchar. We've already seen in the outline that the majority of the times we'll be using the functions like scanf and printf, which I can say are capable of even handling this getchar putchar implicitly. That is, what getchar putchar can do, your scanf printf can also do. Scanf can be used for accepting all types of data or data of all formats, including character. Same with printf. Okay, so even though scanf, printf are going to play major role in the programming that will be doing ahead, getchar, putchar has their own existence whenever we want to deal with exclusively characters, and maybe we just want to restrict ourselves to characters, then maybe getchar, putchar can be efficiently used. Fine, so as far as the unformatted IO was supposed to be dealt with at the beginning, that is getchar and putchar, and that is concerned, that's it as in this particular video. Thank you and happy learning.